Video for
We'll take you live via News Star 8 in Madison County. Video of Clint Eastwood as the cameras roll down in Madison County. Dana Carden is rubbernecking like the rest of them, but he'll join us live via News Star 8 satellite next.
Is finally underway, but getting a glimpse of the movie stars is not going to be easy.
Sport. Feel lucky. TV photographer Courtney Kinzer did and caught Clint Eastwood on the set of the bridges of Madison County. The roads are blocked down there. Security is tight, but this is no presidential visit.
But Kevin, to some, it's even more important. It's the filming of the bridges of Madison County, the movie. The cameras reportedly began to roll today at the now famous farmhouse north of Winterset. The Roseman Bridge comes later. TV8 is on the scene, or should we say, near the scene, with our exclusive News Star 8 satellite truck. Dana Carden is there now live. And Dana, any glimpse of anything or anyone today?
Well, you know, Steve, Clint spottings have become almost a sport in this part of Iowa here in Madison County, and so we came out here. We stood out in the sun all day long and eating some of this dust on the gravel road, and thought we were out luck until about a half hour ago, when all of a sudden this red Suburban pulls up. And who do you think it is? Well, it's a confirmed sighting of Clint Eastwood. There he is driving along, and, well, friendly guy. He'll wave on you. He just drives on by. Little smile from Clint there. Of course, the reason Clint Eastwood is out here today, out in northeast Madison County, is because they're making a movie. This is the first day of filming out here. This is the house right back there where Francesca Johnson and Robert Kincaid will meet and eat and do all sorts of things that you just have to read the book about. Actually, this is about the closest that anyone has gotten all day long, because they just opened up the barricades on the road. But before, right now, getting this close was near impossible. What you looking for?
That thing that they're going to film out here, I guess. Supposed to. Isn't there a house out here they're supposed to?
Despite all the security and the roadblocks, sightseers still drop by, see what they could see. Unfortunately for them, it's not very much. Just a gravel road clouded with dust and shrouded with secrecy. Just what's going on in that tiny farmhouse down the road, over the hill? Well, not even those who have been there are talking. Did you see Clint?
No, I didn't see any signs of anybody. Did you see anything?
Didn't see anybody, just an old farmhouse and a tent where people are going to eat. That's about it.
The goings-on are so secret that those involved with the movie have actually had to sign secrecy papers not to talk about the movie or Clint. Is there anything you can tell us that's going on inside?
I'm sorry, I'm sworn to secrecy on this.
Clint Eastwood, Meryl Streep in there?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
You're telling us, right?
That's correct. I'm ordered to not say anything.
But if Clint Eastwood is in there, what do you think he'd be doing right now?
Well, he'd be saying action.
Now, just to let you know how tight security is going to be out here, the movie producers have even asked the FAA to give them a no-fly zone above the areas where they're going to be filming, so pesky helicopters and planes don't come flying overhead. The movie public relations people say they're going to keep secrecy so tight on this film that they're not going to grant any interviews or allow anyone to take any pictures until the movie is released sometime next summer. And so probably the closest anyone is going to get to any filming is probably next week in downtown Winterset.
Our newest old gas station is getting ready for filming. I'm Erin Mills. I'll have an update on that movie when the news continues.
Abandoned gas station in Winterset getting ready to reopen as a 1965 Texaco station. Welcome back to Live at 5. It's all part of that movie, The Bridges of Madison County, now being filmed in and around Winterset.
As News Center 13's Mary Mills found, for Clinton Company, authenticity is everything.
If it looks like an old-time Texaco, it should. Everything from the pumps to the 10-cent bottles of pop is vintage 60s. It's here where photographer Robert Kincaid stops briefly before heading out of Madison County and out of Francesca's life.
I think, like, if you were to watch a movie, it looks real.
That's because it is. It belonged to Windsor Heights collector Scott Anderson, who traveled the country looking for authentic Texaco artifacts. Frank Hawk owns the property. He also won a role in the movie, that of a farmer. What did you have to do for the big part?
They asked me to get my hair cut, so I flip-flopped up.
As crews readied the place for filming, a few people snapped pictures, including this freelance photographer who looks more than a little like you-know-who.
I had one lady walk up and ask if I was Robert Waller and had a book and a pen in her hand, and regretfully I had to say no.
Craig Jones, hired for security, wasn't sure what to make of all the activity, including the guy who stopped for gas.
He wanted to fill a gas. I said, mister, those pumps are just sitting there for pretty. They're not even hooked up.
Obviously, he didn't see the sign, or maybe he did. The movie people, meantime, weren't saying much, and they evidently didn't like all the attention. After our fourth interview, we were asked to move across the street.
In fact, tomorrow it's doubtful anyone will even get this close. Nearby streets will be closed off to through traffic. The only vehicles you'll see up and down this street are cars from the 60s and older.
At least that's what the movie folks are hoping for. In Winterset, Mary Mills for Live at 5.
And weather permitting, they're going to start filming the movie there tomorrow.
Well, you can forget about the bridges of Madison County. Stephen Kemp's story on the gas station of Madison County. We'll take you back in time about 20 years. The TV8 News at 5 continues. Look used, so they're spraying a mixture of milk, syrup, and food coloring on the pumps and other props to make it look like it's about 30 years old. Most of the artists are local, and they say they're honored to work on the film and meet the stars.
I met Clint and Merrill both. The get-together they had here a week or so ago for everybody that was on the cast and the crew and what have you. Very sociable people.
Now, they've covered some of the props here with plastic because they're afraid it will get rained on and that'll wash away all of the old look here. We're told that the movie will probably start filming tomorrow morning right here in town. And tonight at 10, we'll show you all the secret things they've been doing here, remaking the downtown stores. And it does look fantastic, and we'll show you all that coming up tonight at 10.
Love the 34-cent a gallon gasoline, Todd.
I remember that, I think.
Do you really? Hey, real quickly, big crowds expected down there for the filming?
That's probably true. There are big crowds, but don't expect to get in here and see clean.
Instead of the bridges of Madison County, all eyes today are on the gas station of Madison County. Just about time for downtown Winterset to play its starring role.
Filming on the town square is set to begin tomorrow for the Bridges of Madison County, the movie. And Winterset has received a complete makeover just for the occasion. As TV8's Todd Magel reports, though much of the movie filming is secret, a few bits of movie magic are leaking out.
A new gas station is open in Winterset, and judging by the sign, the price may be the cheapest in the state. But unless you're actor-director Clint Eastwood, you won't be able to buy gas here. This is a product of movie magic.
The sign turned out just great. It really did.
Scott and Bonnie Anderson are building a 30-year-old Texaco station for the Bridges of Madison County film. Warner Brothers hired their Des Moines company called Time Passages to build the set, a set which used to be an old DX station. From the Prestone thermometer to the oil can rack to the public telephone, every prop is vintage Texaco. The station is supposed to look well used, so artists age the shiny signs and pumps by spraying on a mixture of milk, syrup, and food coloring. Many of these painters are from Central Iowa.
Soaking it all in and just having fun with it.
Until now, information has been secret. Officers don't dare what famous people may be doing in the farmhouse down the way.
I'm sorry, I'm sworn secrecy on this.
The man who runs the Iowa film office says that's not unusual.
It's really not secrecy, but what's happening is Mr. Eastwood has built his career on being a very successful director here of late, doing films on budget and on time.
There are few secrets on the Winterset Town Square, though. Set directors have transformed the Winterset home video store into Jay's Furniture Store. The Northside Cafe is getting a facelift, and the portrait studio is now a vacant storefront.
Before they wanted to make it a liquor store, but they changed their minds and made it a closed store.
But yet you're open.
Yep.
Townspeople don't seem to mind watching the clock upward. After all, a taste of Hollywood attracts tourists and their cash.
Brings a lot of people to town, and when people come to town, they spend money usually.
Now that most of the set here in downtown has been decorated, all the old-fashioned props like these chairs are in place, filming is set to begin here in downtown Winterset sometime early Wednesday morning. But don't expect to see anything if you come down here then. That's because during the process, the town will be shut down. In Winterset, Todd Magel, TV8 News.
TV8 News will be in Winterset tomorrow for the town square filming, and who knows what we'll see. You'll just have to tune in.
All right, well, one person we're not likely to see much of or hear much from is the star director himself, Clint Eastwood. That's his name. TV8 News with the first exclusive look at Clint 5 days ago, though. Photographers Courtney Kinzer and Mike Sims were there. Eastwood jumped into his borrowed utility vehicle, not an old pickup truck, and left the day's filming at the farmhouse outside of Winterset. That's Meryl Streep, otherwise avoiding the limelight, getting their work done.
this cheap these days, but turn back the clock a few decades and 34 cents a gallon would be the norm. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Molly Cooney.
And I'm Jason Hoffman in for Mike Lozano. Turning back the hands of time, that's exactly what they're doing today in Winterset.
The reason? What? Of course, the bridges of Madison County. That town has been transformed into an earlier time for filming of the movie. This obviously is a gas station that has taken on a new look. For those of you wondering, this is the place that Clint Eastwood's character parts company with Winterset and the lovely Francesca.
And speaking of Mr. Eastwood, Dana Carden's spending the day in Winterset, and he's joining us live via News Star 8. And Dana, I hear Clint made your day.
Ooh. Well, we have seen Clint several times. Right now, I want to tell you we're in a very strange place. We're in a garage because this is the best seat in the house right now. We're going to have Donna Smith zoom in. Clint Eastwood right now is shooting a scene at the remade Texaco stand and close to the Winterset Square. With all the people standing around there and all the scrims, it's very difficult to see if he's in there, but trust me, he is. We have some very clear pictures of him talking on the phone back there, but I'm afraid we're going to have to show you those at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight. But earlier, when they were shooting at the scene called the Winter General Store, we managed to catch a few glimpses of Clint as he was walking back and forth through the street. Right now, there are probably a couple hundred people on the periphery of the movie set right now trying to catch a glimpse, and there were big murmurs and cheers going up whenever Clint would walk by. And most of the shooting today, we understand, is going to take place here at the gas station where Clint is at right now, playing his role of Robert Kincaid. And tomorrow it'll take place at the cafe. And I know a lot of local people are here because a lot of the extras that you'll see in the tape and in the movie are actually Winterset natives, and a lot of folks here out to cheer on the locals as they go on the big screen with Clint Eastwood. Of course, we're going to have a lot more pictures, a lot more reaction from people coming up on the news live at 5 and 6 from Winterset and the bridges of Madison County of the movie, and we'll show you some real good pictures of Clint.
Sounds good. And Dana, has anybody seen Meryl Streep out there?
Well, no. Actually, if you look right up her chair, it says Meryl Streep written on the back of it. But as we understand it, Meryl Streep is actually back in New York right now, where she's promoting the opening of another of her movies. So she's gone away for a while, but she'll be back. And her and as Francesca should get along with Robert Kincaid and doing things that we can't talk about on TV. You'll just have to wait and see the movie.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dana. Well, 5 Des Moines residents have crews to make some last-minute changes.
Yeah, Claude, filming was to move to the town square in Winterset today, and that's where we find News Center 13's Stacey Farrow for an update. Stacey, how's the filming going there today?
Well, Station Scott, is just beautiful out here. The weather is holding up just fine, and how exciting for the residents of Winterset. They're finally able to see Hollywood work its magic. I'm going to step out of the way right now, and my photographer is going to zoom in on that telephone booth you see there. Now, is in there right now, preparing for a scene. Unfortunately, we are in a position where we cannot see him. This is the only place the film crew would let us set up. So if you see a little elbow stick out or a hand or something, that is Mr. Eastwood's. I think his hair is sticking out right now. But anyway, there is so many people down here, residents of Winterset, watching the filming, hoping to catch a glimpse of Mr.
The star of the Bridges movie took over Winterset's Main Street today as part of the filming. We'll hear more from him.
This is Clint Eastwood doing that movie thing down in Winterset. Dana Carden will have a Bridges update via News Star 8 satellite.
And in the weather,
great time of year here, too.
You know him as Dirty Harry, Rowdy Yates, even by Lo Beto, but while the film star is here, Clint Eastwood is starring as Robert Kincaid in the movie The Bridges of Madison County. Good evening. After weeks of waiting, it seemed like forever, we finally hear from the Oscar-winning star.
Today was the first day of filming on the town square, and it turned out to be more than exciting, especially for our Stacey Farrow, who actually got to talk to Clint Eastwood. Stacey?
That's right, Jim and Therese. It made my day. What else can I say? It was very exciting. Now, filming has wrapped up for the day here in Winterset. Behind me here, you see the Texaco station, where they did a lot of the filming today. They have put some plastic covers over the gas pumps and have moved out for the night. Filming started around 10 o'clock this morning, and the fans were already lined up waiting to see their man. Mr. Eastwood, what do you think?
I like it very much.
It's the face they've been waiting to see for weeks. Having time?
Yeah, terrific. Great time of year here, too.
A busy Mr. Eastwood, starring in and directing the Bridges of Madison County, took a few moments to answer our questions while walking from one set to the next. Most of the morning, onlookers were kept a good distance from the action, and the man were coming to see. But it didn't matter to them. They had their binoculars.
Taking pictures and trying to see Clint.
Have you seen him?
Yes, having my camera.
How many times?
Twice. Retake after retake after retake.
But that's the name of the game in motion picture making. Sightseers saw the same cars go up and down the Winterset Square more times than they could count. When the cameras rolled, the crowd fell silent. And when the cue was given, they were chatting again, just hoping Clint Eastwood would walk their way. When he finally decided to cross the line, he made one woman very happy.
And so then I asked if I could shake his hand, and they were trying to escort me out, and he says, sure, and he come and stuck his hand out and shook it with me.
Now, I didn't get to shake his hand, but obviously she was very happy. She did ask for him to autograph her copy of The Bridges of Madison County. He did not do that. He didn't give any autographs, he said, because it would tie up too much of his time, and after all, he is here to work.
Well, Stacy, did we talk with any of the extras who have parts filming today?
Well, we did try to talk with them, and we talked to them off camera, but Warner Brothers has told them not to talk to any of the media. We don't really understand why they're being so secretive about it, but anyone involved in the movie will not talk to us.
Okay, Stacey Farrow reporting live. Thanks, Stacey. You think that woman was excited at all?
I think she was.
Well, in fact, today was not the only chance you're going to get to catch a glimpse of the star in action.
The film crew plan to take 2 months to shoot The Bridges of Madison County. That's if everything goes as planned. Next week, shooting should begin at the Roseman Bridge. And when will all of us be able to see the fruits of this labor? Well, the movie is supposed to be released next spring. Of course, the weather may be a factor for those film crews in Winterset.
That's right. At this hour, severe weather is moving through central Iowa. For the latest, let's get to Chief Forecaster.
He saw a star today, and he'll be here live to tell us all about it.
Coming up, video for...
We'll take you live via News Star 8 in Madison County. Video of Clint Eastwood as the cameras roll down in Madison County. Dana Carden is rubbernecking like the rest of them, but he'll join us live via News Star 8 satellite next.
Is finally underway, but getting a glimpse of the movie stars is not going to be easy.
Sport. Feel lucky? TV photographer Courtney Kinzer did and caught Clint Eastwood on the set of The Bridges of Madison County. The roads are blocked down there. Security is tight, but this is...
Farmhouse down the road, over the hill. Well, not even those who have been there are talking. Did you see Clint?
No, I didn't see any signs of anybody. Did you see anything?
I didn't see anybody, just an old farmhouse and a tent where people are going to eat. That's about it.
The goings-on are so secret that those involved with the movie have actually had to sign secrecy papers not to talk about the movie or Clint. Is there anything you can tell us that's going on inside?
I'm sorry, I'm sworn to secrecy on this.
Clint Eastwood, Meryl Streep in there?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
The sorts of things that you just have to read the book about. Actually, this is about the closest that anyone has gotten all day long because they just opened up the barricades on the road. But before, right now, getting this close was near impossible. What you looking for?
That thing that they're going to film out here, I guess. Supposed to. Isn't there a house out here they're supposed to?
Despite all of the security and the roadblocks, sightseers still drop by to see what they could see. Unfortunately for them, it's not very much. Just a gravel road clouded with dust and shrouded with secrecy. Just what's going on in that tiny sun all day long and eating some of this dust on the gravel road, and thought we were out of luck until about a half hour ago when all of a sudden this red Suburban pulls up. And who do you think it is? Well, it's a confirmed sighting of Clint Eastwood. There he is driving along, and, well, friendly guy. He'll wave on you. He just drives on by. Little smile from Clint there. Of course, the reason Clint Eastwood is out here today, out in northeast Madison County, is because they're making a movie. This is the first day of filming out here. This is the house right back there where Francesca Johnson and Robert Kincaid will meet and eat and do all.
No presidential visit.
But, Kevin, to some, it's even more important. It's the filming of The Bridges of Madison County, the movie. The cameras reportedly began to roll today at the now famous farmhouse north of Winterset. The Roseman Bridge comes later. TV8 is on the scene, or should we say near the scene, with our exclusive News Star 8 satellite truck. Dana Carden is there now live. And Dana, any glimpse of anything or anyone today?
Well, you know, Steve, Clint spottings have become almost a sport in this part of Iowa here in Madison County, and so we came out here. We stood out in